Hey, y'all. Hey, welcome to the Creative Wealth Academy. Tonight is night one of the Creative Wealth Academy, and I am streaming it on all my platforms because it is the first night I'm giving everybody for free. So, because a lot of people are inboxing me asking me, what is this about? How can we do it? What is it that we need to do to get in on it? So, with that being said, I said, well, I'll just show y'all what it is. It's easier that way. Right, right. Now, I am gonna open up my Zoom room because I am on Zoom for those people who have paid for the academy and they can chat with me and do all kinds of things with me because we are going to do this the best way. So, those of you who are waiting to get into the Zoom room, I'm opening it up right now. For those of you who are on social media, grab a pen, grab a paper, whatever it is that you use to take notes. I need you guys to, we have a lot to cover tonight. So I don't want to be in that situation where you guys are like, wait a minute, what's going on? I need you prepared. All right. No, that's not the one we need. Hold on. Cancel that for a second. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Come on in, please, and thank you. I want everybody to grab a pen, grab a papers, whatever it is that you use to take notes, because we are getting ready to get started with the Creative Wealth Academy. Tonight is night one, and for this whole year, the Creative Wealth Academy is going to be taught live. Why? Because has to be, needs to be, has to be, got to be. So that's what we're doing with that one, okay? So I am live on Instagram. I'm live on YouTube. I'm live on every one of my platforms. And you shall be able to see. If you can't see me, I should be on Instagram. It's not coming up though. There it is. So grab your pens. I hope you have your pens. I hope you have your papers because we're getting ready to start with all of our content so that we can get you guys in here and get started. The purpose of the Creative Wealth Academy is to get you into real estate. That's the whole purpose. We're going to do that, and we're going to do this the right way. So let me see something because I know I did this wrong. I always set something up the wrong way. And y'all just got to bear with me 1 minute while I fix it real quick. Yep. I knew I did it wrong. Good. I just fixed it. So give me a hey girl hey so if you can hear my voice, see my face. And let's get ready to do this. Zoom room is open. So if you are on Zoom, open. It's getting ready to open up for you. That should be open in a few minutes. The rest of you who are on Facebook, Instagram, or YouTube, I need you guys to grab a pen, grab your papers. We do not need our calculators tonight. We will not need our calculators this week. Next week, we will probably need some calculators because we're going to be doing some investing. Tonight, we're going to be all about Not only are we going to welcome you, my lovelies, not only are we welcoming you, but we are going to get everything going the way we need it going. We're going to make sure this week is all about setting you up properly. So when I say setting you up properly, that means I need you to have your LLC. We need to make sure you have your funding, that you are set up properly to get funded. We need to make sure you understand what it is that we're going to start building out your credit profiles tonight. So just to give you an idea of what we're going to do tonight. And while I'm waiting for the Zoom room to open, I'm also going to get get the people on Facebook in here because Lord knows they be mad at me if I don't do this. Da, 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 da. Keys, Deeds, and Profits, y'all ready? If you are in my Facebook group, Keys, Deeds, and Profits, you are now live with the Diva. Mm-hmm. And then Black women investing in real estate. Guess what? You guys are in here too. Because I don't want to leave anybody out today. We're not leaving nobody out today. What's this thing not starting the way it's supposed to? Okay. And one more spot. One more time for the people in the back. Here we go. Zoom is it. All right. Now that we up all over the world, we can get started. My apologies for the delay. But some of this stuff I can't do until I'm actually live, which is crazy, I know, but it is what it is. To live to everybody, change it. Yep. Okay, everybody got pens, everybody got papers, everybody ready. If you're ready, put ready in the chat so I know we are ready to go and we can get started. Now, first things first, my name is Delise Robinson. I am y'all's favorite real estate diva. If this is your first time, put a number 1. If you've been here with me before, blow me a kiss. Yeah, I thought I was going to say put number 2. No, I want to see you in the comments if you've been here before. If you kiss me, then I kiss you back. Remember that? Yeah, remember that song? Okay, tonight we are going to go over what do you need to get funded. Now, I know some of you are going to say, well, you did that yesterday. Well, I wasn't inside my Creative Wealth Academy. So today I'm going to go a little bit deeper. We're actually going to get things done. I'm actually going to flip my screen around and show you guys exactly what we're doing. We're also setting up your businesses. For those of you who do not know or don't have your LLC, S Corp, C Corp, whatever it is you choose to open, I'm going to walk you through the steps of doing that tonight too. And we're going to do your investment roadmap. This is what type of investor do you want to be? And how can we help? How we're going to help you moving forward so that you can get into these real estate streets and start building the wealth and the financial security and stability that you want for your families. Okay? Now, did my Zoom room open up? Sure. Zoom should be open. So first things first, let's talk about it. I founded the Creative Wealth Academy to give real estate investors something that they didn't have, a resource that they can tap into in order to start growing and diversifying their portfolios. Now, the process is something I wish I had when I first started out. When I first started out in real estate 26 years ago, There was no blueprint. There was no roadmap. There was no trainers. There was no coaches. Nobody was trying to help me. I asked for help. Believe me, I'm not the type of person that's going to sit there and say, "Oh, I don't need anybody's help. I'm great. I'm perfect." No, I was asking for help and I was asking for creative strategies and things like that, and nobody knew what I was talking about. So I had to, being a new investor, I had to work around that. See, and you guys are going to get that now without the workaround.
Recording in
Because
progress.
I'm going to give you, that was my lady standing recording in progress. I'm going to give you guys the actual schmactual, if that's a word, we'll call it that. I'm going to give you guys the actual smactual thing that we are going to be doing in this process today. All right, because y'all know what it is. Y'all know what time it is. It's time to get started. Almost time to get started. So there was no one, and when I tell you there were real estate investors, there was no. The only real estate investor I knew was my uncle Pop. Rest in peace. He was the only real estate investor I knew, and he lived in Florida, and I was in Buffalo, so we didn't talk often. But when we did, he always, hello. We always had this connection on not only the fact that our birthdays are a day apart, but we also had this connection of real estate, because anytime and every time I went to visit home, because in my family, Florida is home for everybody. So when I went home to visit, we would always talk about real estate and properties, and he would ask me what I was doing and how things were going. And he would give me as much as he knew, which he was a landlord. He didn't do flips. He was a landlord. He worked in construction as his day job, but he was a landlord. And that's the only thing he could tell me. So then when I got to this point that I wanted to do more, and I was hearing about things, and I was looking at, and people were investing in things and showing things, and I wanted to show those things as well. So I was really trying to figure out what to do, and nobody could tell me what it was that I was supposed to be doing. So when I tell you, it was definitely, the math wasn't mathing, nothing was happening, nobody was helping. It was craziness all around. So I said, if I ever got to a position where I could help other people, I would eliminate as much of the craziness as I possibly could. So that is why the Creative Wealth Academy has been created. I documented my entire process, my failures included. Okay, the failures are included, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, heifers and hustlers, divas and dudes. I have included everything, every mistake that I've ever made, everything. When I tell you, you guys are going to get it inside this academy, you are going to get everything that I have failed at, everything I've been successful at, every lesson that I've learned along the way. You are going to know, because I'm not gatekeeping this. That's why the Creative Wealth Academy is out here. Now, each module in this Creative Academy, in the Creative Wealth Academy, will be structured with live instruction and pre-recorded instructions. So all of the sessions are going to be recorded. So if you can't meet me live, then you can go back and review the lesson and do the homework and catch up for the next session. Sessions are going to be weekly. So yes, we are going to, with the exception of 2 weeks that I can think of right now, 3, we are going to be live. Okay, and I've already structured it out. So those 2 weeks, I'm going to give you a lot of homework. Okay, so let's get into it. What do we have here? Let me go in here, and I gotta get ready to share my screen with y'all, because I want it. I want some more of it. All right, now, if you are a member of the academy, you should be on Zoom. I'm going to tell you why in a second. Because first things first, I'm going to be sharing my screen and I'm going to be doing some things and you're going to be able to see it. People on Instagram and Facebook, you're going to be able to see it as well. But I don't know how small or how big your screens are as to where you will be able to see it. Okay, so I just put that disclaimer out there. First of all, I'm going to give you some. It's gonna seem like I'm giving you financial advice tonight. I'm not. I am not a licensed professional when it comes to finance. I am not a licensed or experienced professional when it comes to credit. I am, however, good at real estate. So I will tell you what I've done. I will tell you what I've helped people do, and we'll move forward through that. How long is this class going to take today? I know everybody want to know that. This class is going to take as long as it needs to. I tell the Creative Wealth Academy members, you guys know, we were told, set aside at least 2 hours, right? We were told, put away at least 2 hours, correct? Correct. That's what we were told. So I don't want y'all out here saying, hey, I didn't know we were doing that today. Yes, you did. Okay. Now, let me, oh, that's right. I had to do this a different way. I gotta get my stuff together so you guys can actually see the screen. Okay. Now, let me share this. Hi, Tanika. How are you? Zoom, let me know if you can see my screen. Because that's where we're going to be tonight. On the screen share, you're going to be able to see my whole entire screen. So you guys are going to be able to see everything that I'm doing today. So you can see my screen. Drop a hey. All right. It's rough out here in these streets today, let me tell you. I don't have time. Okay. Next thing. Now they say that this is something that struck me, and people always have a way of doing things the way they want it done and how they're going to do it. The major fortunes in America have been made in land. And you want to know who said that? John D. Rockefeller. Richest man ever. His family is still living off of the wealth that he built back in the early 1900s, which is so crazy to me. But his family is still living off of that money, and they're creating more wealth, and they call it the waterfall effect. And they do this to create the generational wealth that they started. And I'm like, wow, that's so crazy to me. But I've been doing my research on it so I could set my family up the same way. Yeah, it's about time because, I ain't gonna be here that long. I plan to be here another 40, 50 years, but we'll see. My great grandmother was 111 when she died. So I think I got it in me. My grandma's 90. So yeah, I think I got it in me. Now, what I would like to do, once I can get this presentation up, that's what's holding me up, guys. It's just the presentation, nothing else. I still got my Zoom people here. Yes, yeah, I can still see my screen. Good. Tonight we are welcome. For anybody who's just joining us in here, tonight is night one of the next 52 weeks plus for the Creative Wealth Academy. This is tea. I'm not drinking wine tonight. But we are going to be in it to win it. If you have any comments, questions along the way, I'm going to ask that you please hold your comments and your questions till the end. And the reason for that is because I've set aside some time at the end to answer all questions. So as I'm going through this process tonight, I'm asking you guys to hold your questions. Make sure you're on mute if you're in the Zoom. And well, I'll make sure you're on mute too, but make sure you're on mute if you're in the Zoom. And I'm going to go through this process with you tonight and give you guys what it is that we're getting ready to do. Okay. All right. Thank you. I'm like, why is this not working? Everything goes wrong the first day. Then you figure it out and it comes back amazing the second day. There we go. People on Zoom can see my screen. People on Instagram, not TikTok tonight, Instagram, and Facebook, YouTube. Can you see the screen? If you can see the screen, somebody put yes in the chat, just so I know you can see it. I'll know when you can see it too, because I have a device in front of me that's letting me know what's going on. Okay, you guys can see it. Let's talk about it. I'm excited. This year I have a goal to help 100 people start their real estate investment business. 100 people start, grow, or diversify your real estate portfolio. And we're going to talk about that a little bit later. But like I said, the major fortunes in America have been made in land. That's what Mr. John D. Rockefeller told us. That's his story, and that's what we're going to stick with. Now, to get into you tell me you don't act crazy today. Okay, first thing we need to talk about, are you ready to be funded? Now, let me make it clear. When I say get funded, this is anytime anybody, there's not one person in real estate who's ever invested in real estate that I know of that has not needed funding at some point in time. So Why not, if you're going to start, or if you're in that process of growing, or you want to diversify, now is the time for you to set up your business the correct way so that you can get funded. So what do you need to get funded in real estate? And we're going to see if you're ready. The readiness check. Are you ready for property investment? Let's get it. Funding requirements. The personal information they're going to need from you. They're going to need your legal name, Lisa Robinson, phone number, 716, blah, 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 678, blah, 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 813, blah, 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 blah. Whatever your phone number is that gets directly to you, like I said yesterday, this is what you're going to do. Your legal name, your phone number, your email address, your date of birth, your address. Yes, they need to know your personal address, your business address. We'll get to that in a minute. They need your social security number, because they are going to check your credit, even though the type of loans that you will most likely get will not appear on your personal credit report. They will go on your business credit report. And we're going to talk about that a little later. But right now, this is the things I need you to know. Now, that's all they're going to need from you personally. Your income does not matter. It's the most loans are loan to value or loan to cost. And we'll go over those a little bit more as we get further down into the funding. But right now, they're loan to value, LTV, or loan to cost, LTC. Okay. Now, for your business information, they're going to need the company's name, your position, and your ownership. This is why this is important. Certain companies have certain people that are 50-50 owners. Some people are 100% owners. Like myself, I'm 100% owner of my business. You might be 100% owner of your business, or you might be partnered with someone, and that's fine. It's not, even though y'all hear me say it all the time, I hate partnerships, but I really don't. I love to partner with the right people. Okay. So you're going to have to state your percentage of the ownership. Where is that going to be stated? In your operating agreement, which we're going to need if we want to get you funded. And when I say we, I can get you funded. I'm telling you what I will need. Okay. So if you have a website, we're going to need a copy of the website. If you don't, that's fine too. Okay. Now, your articles of organization. This is the corporate paperwork, and you're going to see exactly where it comes from in about 10 minutes, because we're going to do it. You're going to see where this comes from. Okay. Then your operating agreement and your financials. Financials for your business are simple. If you have been in business at least a year, you should have filed taxes so we can use your tax return. If you have only been in business a short time, you're going to need a business bank statement. Okay. You can be a new business and get this, but then it's going to require you to fund your business. And how do you fund your business, Lisa? You deposit the money into your business bank account. We're going to go over some other things that you're going to need for a business bank account. Excuse me. Now, the project information. We're going to need a copy of the purchase agreement. And my Creative Wealth Academy people, you guys know when we get into this, and you're going to need a copy of you're going to need a copy of your purchase agreement. We go through the purchase agreement. We fill it out. We're going to complete this together. This is one of our assignments that we're going to have to start practicing how to fill out the agreements. Okay. Now, your scope of work. How do you know how much work is going to be needed on an account, on a property? That's going to be necessary. So if you need to be funded, they're going to want to know what type of work needs to be done on the property. That's scope of work. The next thing you're going to need are photos. Yes, I want to see the project for myself. Okay. And so does the lender. The lender wants to see the project for themselves. So you have to know the photos of the property. We're going to need the property's value. Where does the property value come from? It's going to come from an appraisal. You're going to get an appraisal, or you're going to get If it's a private lender that I have connections with, they're going to ask me to run the numbers and me to pull the comps and all this other stuff. And that's fine. I can do it. And they want to know what the accurate period, because they want to know if it's a good deal or not. Now, we do have calculators. We do have apps, and we have construction budget apps and calculator apps to say whether or not it's a good deal. And we're going to be working within that scope during this year. You're going to see a lot of numbers. So get ready to do some math. And now y'all know, if you've been with me since I started live streaming back in 2017, 2018. If you've been with me, 2016 probably. Yeah, I've been live streaming since 2016. So if you are with me, if you've been with me for the past 9 years since I've been live streaming, you know I'm mathematically challenged. So I have my calculator always within reach. As you can see, it's right here. Boom, within reach too. So we are going to do a lot of math. This is real estate. You have to run numbers. So I'm going to teach you how to do so many different numbers. Your head's going to spin backwards, forwards, upside down, and sideways. But it's okay, and it's needed. We're going to have to know the ARV. So you're going to have to know how to calculate ARV. Type of property. Is it mixed use? Is it multifamily? Is it single family? Is it commercial? Is it a mobile home park? Is it land? What type of property are you purchasing? Because that's going to let me know what type of exit strategy you have for it. And then I'm going to know what type of loan to get you for it. Okay? So make sure that you are getting everything that I need you to get. And I know it sounds like a lot of stuff, but it's really not. Because you got to think, a lot of this you're going to tell me right over the phone. When you call me to say, hey, Delise, I need to get funding, I'm going to ask you, what's your legal name? Spell it for me, please. What's your phone number, email address, date of birth, social security number, address? All that stuff is going to be over the phone. So everything that you need to give me personally is going to be taken over the phone or in an email. I'm going to send you a form. You're going to fill it out and you're going to send it back to me. Okay? The business information, you're going to have to provide me with your SS4, which is a form you're going to get from the IRS, and it's like your social security card for your business. Don't lose that letter, because if you lose it, guess what? They're not going to issue another one, or they're going to charge you for it. And it takes forever to get you a new one. Okay, so that's another thing you're going to need, your EIN. We're going to need that for your business. And I just realized I didn't put it on that list, but you're going to need that. So I'm going to need your SS4, which is your EIN form. I need articles of organization. I'm going to need your operating agreement. So I'm going to need you to send me all of this information. If I ask you for bank statements, I'm going to need you to send me your bank statements. If you have a pre-approval and you want me to run numbers for you, I'm going to need to see your pre-approval, because a lot of the time, the properties that my network may have available for you are not going to be. We need to see what type of loan you have, so we know what type of property we can put you into. Okay? So that's what's going to happen here. So this network, and you guys are like, what network? I have a nationwide network of wholesalers, real estate agents, title companies, attorneys, accountants, contractors, bookkeepers, and the such, and structural engineers, everything. So we don't have to go and outsource this. So inside the Creative Wealth Academy, we have the resources we need, and we're putting together a directory of everybody who wants to be involved in it. Okay. So this is what you will need. This is what I will need to get you funded. This is just what you need to get funded. Now let's talk about how. Oh yeah, your experience. We're going to talk about what else you need. Okay. You're going to have to provide me with, I need your experience. If you're new, you're new. That's fine. It doesn't mean you're not going to get credit. It just means your terms are going to be a little different. What type of loan do you want? Do you want to fix and flip? Do you want to fix and hold? Do you want a cash out refi? What do you want? I need to know what type of loan you want. And of course, they're going to some lenders will run background checks on you. Yep, they will. And I mean a legit background check. Now, when we're setting up your business, to operate, to be operational and functional, we are going to go to the Department of State for your state. Now, what state should you set up your business in? I don't know. I don't know. All my businesses are registered in New York State. Some people have businesses. I know one of my clients, he lives in Georgia, but he opened his business in Delaware because there's certain anonymity that you can have in Delaware. But now with the BOI forms, you might not be able to get away with that anymore. But there are certain tax advantages you get by having your business in Delaware. And then you have to file a foreign entity claim if you do business outside of the state where you filed. Okay. Now, you will need to look up the name that you are choosing to ensure it's not already in use. That's what I ran into when I first started my business. I ran into, and if you hold on one moment. Okay. I ran into an issue where I wanted to I'm gonna stop sharing this. And I'm gonna have to stop sharing and share another screen just so you guys on social media can see what I'm doing. My people in the Zoom room, they can see me. If you're on the email list, the link to the Zoom room was emailed to you, just so you guys know. Okay. Now we're gonna share the screen. I'm gonna see what tab. Okay. And we are going to take you to the Department of State because that's where you need to go. I don't care what state you're in. You're just going to put into Google, you're going to put Department of State. I'm in New York right now. So it's Department of State for New York, Department of State for Georgia, however you want to do it. And then you're going to go here. This one pops up for New York State, says Division of Corporations. And I'll do another state just to be on the safe side as well. I will definitely do another state. And then you're gonna click on corporations, division of corporations, because you want to look up the name that you're thinking about naming your business. Like right now, my people that are in Creative Wealth Academy, I need you to put down, if you don't have your LLC already, I need you to write down 3 names for your business. And then I want you to go to the Department of State for your state, and I want you to see if those names are taken. This is interactive. You guys that are on social media, you can do the same thing, please. It'd be great. Be great. Okay? Because that's why we're here tonight. We are here to do, not just listen to me talk. We're here to do the work. No, you do not want to do this as a DBA. You definitely don't want this to be done as a DBA. And I'm going to show you why later down the line. Okay, pumpkins. All right. Nice. I'm telling you, this computer just do what it want to do. Now, if you guys have any questions, please let me know. So when you go into New York State, you go to Department of State for New York. You're going to go into Division of Corporations if it comes up. This one's acting real crazy for me today for some reason. You're going to go into divisional corporations, and then it's going to say existing corporations and businesses. Because I don't want to hold you guys up. See, it's coming up now. All you got to do is talk dirty about it, and it'll start working. But you're going to look up your business. So this is what you're going to be doing. And I hope my creative members in Zoom, I want you guys to do this while we're on the phone. Okay? So you're going to go in here and you see where it says you can search by entity name, business. You want to search by entity name. You want to say, I wanted to know if there was a business called, I don't know, somebody give me a name. I'm going to say Blue Pearl. Blue Pearl. Anything with Blue Pearl. All statuses begins with Corporation LLC. I want all of it. And then over here it says click the database. But you have to select an entity. So I'm going to do all of them. And there it is. So I can't name my business Blue Pearl Advisors because there's one here, even though it shows inactive. You can probably try and reach out to these people and see if they want to reactivate it. And if they don't, help them send in the paperwork so you can use that name. Blue Pearl Associates, Blue Pearl Consultants, Blue Pearl Enterprises, Blue Pearl Gyms LLC. I can't use any of these because they're active and they're here. Blue Pearl Partners, Blue Pearl Productions, Blue Pearl Hospitality. So Blue Pearl is out for me because there's 20 pages. And if you guys can see down here, there's 21 pages of businesses with the name Blue Pearl. There's 21 of them in New York State. And this one says Foreign Limited Liability Company. So I can't use it. So I have to go back to my search. Think of something else. I might want to say something crazy like entity name, and I want to search and see if Serenity Springs. I might want to see if something like that is available. And I'm going to tell you, coming up with a name for your business is such, and Serenity Springs Management and Consultants, there it is. And they're active. And the date of their first filing was just 2 years ago, so they're probably still active. So you return the search and you just keep going. Now, I'm going to explain to you how I came up with my business name, Trinity Alliance Group. Trinity, the Father, the Son, the Holy Spirit, that is a Trinity. Alliance, watching Survivor. I only watched one whole season of Survivor, to be honest with you. But I watched Survivor and they formed an alliance, meaning their alliance. So my alliance is two. I'm a Christian woman. I believe in Christian. I'm a Christian person. I'm a Christian. Okay? Let that out the way. The Father, the Son, the Holy Spirit in Christianity is the Trinity. So that's where Trinity came from. My alliance, I am in alliance with the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. And I got that from Survivor. Group, Trinity Alliance Group. Let me tell you how deep group goes. Group to me meant wealth growing up, and I'm going to explain why. I used to watch soap operas with my mom. Her favorite soap opera was Another World. Anybody who's old enough to remember Another World, NBC. I used to tape it in college. Okay, that's just that's how addicted I was. It was so good. And the guy on there, his name was Michael Hudson. His business, he was a multimillionaire. His business was called the Hudson Group. And I thought it was like, that's power, that's money. When I get a business, I'm going to put group in the name. So that's where it came from. So now we're Trinity Alliance Group. Guess what? When I went into this system for the Department of State, Division of Corporations, I put in Trinity Alliance Group, it was taken. So I'm thinking, who the heck would have named their business that? What the heck? So I'm all upset and I thought about it. And then I was like, you know what? I'm still using that name. I'm just going to put of Buffalo on the end of it. And then when you see it, you'll see us, we abbreviate that TAG 716, Trinity Alliance Group 716, the area code for Buffalo. So that's why the website, if you see my emails, it's delisa@tag716.com, divaport@tag716.com, because TAG Trinity Alliance Group is the holding company for everything else. So that's the corporation. That's where the money resides, I guess, if you do. That's the business, Trinity Alliance Group Buffalo, Inc., because I am a corporation. So then there are other businesses you have, and I'm going to, like I said, further down the line, we're going to set up this business first. So when you go in here, if your name is available, great. Then you're going to go out of here. And you're going to set up your business. And you'll go to Department of State. And it says start your career, search businesses and entities, renew my license, file corporate papers online. You can do this online in New York State. I don't know about the rest of the states. You guys tell me what you find. Okay. Now you can go in here. And I'm just impatient. I keep clicking. Now, people in Zoom, you good?
Yeah.
Don't unmute.
You hear me?
Don't unmute. Just put it in the chat. Yes or no. Okay. Now, the thing we have here, so you can do for-profit or not-for-profit. You can do that in here too. So online filings, you want to do for-profit. You see this domestic certificate of incorporation. If you're filing an LLC, it's going to ask you. It tells you how much everything costs in here. It's not. You can jump around on this side. It says overview, how to apply forms, fees, duration of the process. You can start filing, how to apply online, apply and answer. You can do these answers. Here's the form. Let's click it. And proceed. Why not? And of course, they say the page is invalid. Why? Because it's New York State. Why not? So this is a required fees. It costs $125 to file a certificate of incorporation in New York State. If you want a certified copy, it's going to cost you $135. You want an availability of the name, you want to reserve your name, $5. Reservation of the name, $25. Expedited handling, another $25 to $150, depending on what type of business you operate. This process will take you 7 to 10 business days. Don't let that 7 days. This is New York State, honey. They do not move as quick as everybody thinks they do. This will take some time. You can also expedited handling, $25 per document, processing within 24 hours, $75 per document for processing the same day, or $150 if you want it processed within 2 hours. New York State, where everybody comes, you know you got to pay to play. So this is what you're going to do. And they have it where you can do it online and find assistance for it. You can just click these things
form of business. You're leaving New York State. I'm not going to go back out there because it told me that page didn't exist last time. So you can go to fees, duration to process. You can even go to forms. Here are all the forms. You click this and it's going to take you to the form. Okay? So you can do this online in New York State. New York State does require you to post your business once it's set up. You have to publish your business. It has to be published in a public newspaper. So you can do like the Amherst Bee, you can do a free web, you can do a free, you just have to prove that you've published it, okay? Just so you guys know, New York State requires publishing. All right, all right. Everybody good? All right, I'll stop sharing that for right now. So that's how you're going to set up a business in New York State. You could do this in other states just as well. You can do it in other states too. So let's go back here and make sure, because I know I'm going to have to share it. IRS.gov. After you've set up your business, that's the next step you need to go to is the IRS.gov. Why, Delisa? Because you need an EIN, the employer identification number. Delisa, I don't plan on having any employees. You need the EIN. It is your tax, it's your social security number for your business. So you need it. So you go to the IRS once your paperwork is set up. And trust me, it's going to be set up. Literally, you're going to know if everything's okay. As soon as you get the approval from New York State, or like I said, I'm in New York State, so I'm using New York State. But if you were in Georgia or Colorado, wherever you are, you can use that Department of State and their process. And if it takes a day. So as soon as you have it set up, as soon as you finish filing the paperwork online, it's going to be set up. You can then go to the IRS.gov and apply for your EIN. Okay? Then you can go to Rocket Lawyer, or I say Rocket Lawyer because it's the easiest thing I've ever used in my life when it comes to doing an operating agreement. They ask you all these questions and they write your agreement for you. You can do it there, or you can have an attorney write one up for you. It's your choice. Rocket Lawyer, $90 a month. And you only need it to write up that one document. Attorney, probably $200. So up to you, however you want to do it. But you're going to need an operating agreement. The operating agreement is your permission to operate the business. Then you're going to have, once you have your business set up and your EIN, you're going to head on over to PayPal, or you're going to head on over to Stripe, or you're going to head on over to Square, because you need a payment processor. But Delisa, I'm not selling anything. And you need a payment processor. Why? Because once you start getting tenants, you can send them an invoice via email every month for their rent, and they can pay by invoice and you don't have to track them down. You don't have to worry about their cash. You don't have to worry about their check bouncing. You don't have to worry about them saying, oh, I got a money order and it got lost. You don't have to worry about any of that. So please and thank you. I say get a payment processor. Not only that, but you can invoice your contractors. They can invoice you. You can pay it however you want to do it. It is so much easier to do business when you have a payment processor. There's another thing that these two, especially PayPal and Stripe, because that's what I'm familiar with and that's what I use. PayPal and Stripe, if you have enough money going through that payment processor, i.e. your rent, i.e. your Airbnb, guess what? They will then offer you business lines of credit. Yeah. They will invite you to the party, honey. You don't even have to apply for it. They will send you an email just as quick. Hey, you may qualify for this. That means you've done enough business through our system where we can now offer you cash. They don't check your credit. They don't care about how much money you make. They're going to base that loan that they give you on the amount of money you have coming through that payment processor. So if you got $10,000 a month coming through that payment processor, 9 times out of 10, they're going to give you about a $7,000 loan. Okay. If you've got $25,000 or $30,000, 9 times out of 10, they're going to give you a $15,000 loan. So they will give you the loan and you pay it back every time a payment gets processed through the processor. They take a percentage back. You set the percentage. Go figure. And that's just more business credit for you. Okay. The NAICS, however you say it, code. This is a code that you will use to identify the type of business that you have when you're going to get funding. Some lenders will ask for this. I have never been asked for it, so I really don't pay attention to it, but you're supposed to have one. You can use the one for real estate investing or being a landlord or a property manager, or you can use the one for consulting if you're just flipping houses. Okay? You will need a business bank account. Dag nabbit. And I'm telling y'all that because I don't want y'all out here in these streets looking crazy and being a little goofy, okay? Stop being goofy. I need y'all to do what you're supposed to do. Do everything that I tell you to do. Business bank account. You will need, if you are in real estate, you will need multiple accounts. Any business will need multiple accounts, but in real estate, you're going to need even more accounts. Do they all have to be at the same bank? Absolutely not. I prefer they not be, honestly. Okay? And let me tell you why. Because number one, you want to build relationships with all the banks, not just the one you go to every day. And you smiling at Mary who's sitting over in the corner. Hey, Mary. Hey. Okay. And so you want to get away from that. You don't want to be, you want a major bank, Bank of America, Chase, Citibank, Wells Fargo. Those are major banks because they are nationwide banks. Okay? Nationwide banks, major banks. So you want one of those. You want a local bank, KeyBank, M&T, Fifth Third. You want a credit union. Yes, you can do Navy Federal, but how about your local credit union in your city that you can go to? Okay, like we have them here in Buffalo. We've got CEFQ, which they've changed their name to Bill something. I don't know what their heck their name is now, but CEFQ used to be teachers, but now they open up to everybody. Metropolitan is another one that is here in Buffalo that's open to everybody. So you can do it. Like Ford Motor Company, which my dad used to work at Ford. So because he worked at Ford, they have their own credit union at Ford. Because my dad worked at Ford, I was able to get my bank account at Ford Credit Union. So you want to look into affiliations. Like, hey, why do you have this affiliation if you can't use it? There's like USAA. You see those commercials all the time about the insurance for the military vets. Yeah, my brother was a military vet, so I'm under his insurance. Well, I'm not under his insurance, but I was able to get his insurance. So it's a lot of different things that you can do. So that's why you want a business bank account. You're going to need one for marketing. You're going to need one for operations. You're going to need one for taxes. You're going to need one for payouts. The key is the operation account. That's where all the money is going to go into. And then once that money hits that account, you're going to filter it to these other accounts. Okay? If you are a landlord or you're planning on being a landlord and building up a portfolio of rental properties, you are going to need an escrow account because you have to keep the security deposit in an escrow account. I don't care what state you live in, that's a requirement. Okay, so you're going to need that. And if you in New York State, if you are renting out a building that has more than 10 units, not only do you have to keep the money in escrow, it has to be an interest-bearing account. And you have to give them that money with their interest on it back if you are renting out more than 10 units. Okay? So I want you guys to keep stuff like that in mind. Everybody, if you're the one homework assignment you guys are going to have, I want you to pull up the landlord tenant laws for your city and state. Okay, now for your roadmap to wealth, what type of an investor do you want to be? Because a lot of you don't even know what type of investor you want to be. You haven't chosen your niche. You haven't talked about where you just know you want to be in real estate. And everybody says the same thing. I want to flip houses. Well, first of all, they say I want to wholesale until they realize wholesaling is work. Then they say, oh, I don't want to do that. I want to flip houses until they realize they don't have all the money they need because they listened to the guru on Instagram that told them they only needed 20% down. That was a lie. I could have told you that was a lie. But you listen to them anyway. And now you don't have now you know you need more than 20% now. We're going to talk about that too because that happens all the time. Now, the readiness check. Let's check and see if you know exactly what type of real estate investor you want to be. Know your financial stages. You need to know where you are financially. Choose what type of investments you want to deal with. Choose where you want them. So that's how you're going to identify your market. Define the criteria. This is the most important one out of all of those. Defining criteria means what type of properties do you want? What type of profit do you require? Give you a perfect example. I have a client here in Buffalo. He flips houses. That's all he does is flips. He doesn't want to hold on to a lot of them. He holds on to some of them, but if he buys 9 properties, if he buys 10 properties, 9 of them are getting flipped. And the other one's going to be a long-term flip. And we'll explain that to you at a different time. That's not what I'm getting into today. So he has defined his criteria. His criteria is I need to make 30% return on my investment. So if he's all in, 50,000 purchase, 50,000 renovation, he's all in at $100,000, right? Right, wrong. For the sake of math, he's all in at 100,000, but he still had to pay for title. He still had to pay for closing costs. We have to factor that in. You have to factor that in. So you need to know how much is he all in. Now he's, for your purposes, as an investor, you have to keep that in mind. I have closing costs, title search and surveys. I had to pay for marketing. I have to pay commission to the real estate agent who's listing the property. You know what I'm saying? So you have to think about all of that information. I have to pay the attorney. I had to pay the engineer to come out and look at this structure because it looked crazy to me. I had to pay for the appraisal. I had to pay for the inspection. All of that stuff costs money. So you can't just say, I only need 20% down. That's not how that works. So when he says that he wants a 30% return on his investment, if he's all in at 100,000, he has to sell this property for at least 150. Why? Because he has to pay the commission to the real estate agent. He has to pay for the appraisal. He has to pay for the structural engineer. He has to pay for an inspection. He has to pay for all title search and survey, closing costs, insurance. All of that gets put in there. Okay, so you have to know that he's going to need more than 20% down, and you're going to have to factor into his cost that 30%. But for the sake of arguments, we're going to use simple math because I told you guys you wouldn't need your calculators tonight. If I'm all in at 100,000, that means I need to profit 130,000, and that's not my profit. That's me getting my $100,000 back in my pocket and me making $30,000 on the investment. So my portion, a check to me, has to be at 130,000 for this to work. That's how that works. Okay, so you have to be able to know that type of information. So I need you to know for yourself, how much do you want? If you're a wholesaler, what's your goal for the year? What is the end goal for this year? And remember, my people in Creative Wealth Academy, you know, we talked about probably about a couple of weeks ago, and I told you we are doing 12-week years. Remember I told you I was reading a book, The 12-Week Year? We're going to be doing a 12-week year. So in 12 weeks, how much money do you want to have? How much money do you want to be in your bank account in 12 weeks? Okay, so if you want $50,000 in 12 weeks, then dag on it, you're going to have to get out here and bust your hump and get it going. You're going to have to get out here and call these people. You're going to have to get out here and do these showings. You're going to have to get out here and market these properties. However you want to do it. Real estate agents, same thing. However you want to do this, whatever it is that you want to do, you have to get out and do it. So if we are saying, I told you I want 20 people to hit 6 figures in their wholesaling business by the end of this year. That means I need 6 people to hit $8,000 a month, $8,400 a month. So what are we going to do to get there? We're going to map out a plan, define your criteria. Wholesalers, you're going to define your criteria. Flippers, what's your criteria? Portfolio builders, what is the criteria? Mobile home park owners, what is your criteria? Don't say everything, because if you say everything, it's nothing. You cannot do it that way. And I want you guys to understand that. All right? All right. Because y'all love to tussle me in these streets, I tell you. Y'all love to play with me in these streets. So, investment roadmap, research and analysis. You are going to have to research the market. You're going to have to research the properties. You're going to have to research construction crews. You're going to have to research a lot of different things during this process so that you can be in preparation for the financing, financial preparation. Is your credit good? Is your cash flow okay? Do you know where you can pull cash from? Things like that. Property selection. What type of properties are you going for? I can tell you my goal this year, personally, in my real estate business, is to have 20 doors. And that's adding 20 doors to the portfolio I already have, which means I can have 10 duplexes or 5 quads. I can have 20 single families. I don't want 20 single families. I want duplexes. So I want 2 to 4 units. That's how I want to work this. And for me, that's how I'm going to work this. Okay, so that's where that's coming from. Okay, all right. Now, are you financially ready? Let's check your cash reserves and your resources, because this is important. Your cash resources, your 401k. Let me explain this 401k to y'all so y'all can understand. The house that I live in right now, I pulled money out of my 401k and paid cash money for the house. I didn't even know I could do that until I needed cash for this house. And somebody said, you know, you can take a loan from your 401k. You can borrow from your 401k. So that makes you your own bank, because you do have to pay the money back, or you're going to get taxed really heavy on it. So you have to put the money, you can put the money in there, you can take the money out. Once you put it back in there, you can take more out. And you just so on and so on and so on. So that's a resource for you to use. And you pay back the money with interest like you would on any other loan. But the interest is also going back into your 401k. So you are paying yourself back with interest. Okay? Credit cards. Yes, you can pull cash from a credit card. We all know that. There's a certain technique that you have to use so that it goes through as a purchase and not as a cash advance, so you don't get hit with all that interest, okay? So we'll talk about that when we get ready to talk about funding, which is down the line a little bit. HELOC, home equity line of credit. If you are a homeowner and you paid under market value for your home, but you now want to pull the equity out of it. So if you paid $200,000 for your home back in 3 years ago, 4 years ago, I'm thinking about my sister right now. She paid she's got like a 2.6 interest rate on her house. And she literally called me to say, can she should refinance? No, interest rates are almost 8%. No, keep that low interest. So what she has is she's got this low interest rate. She bought her house like 4 years ago. She paid like $250,000, I think $250,000, almost $300,000 for a house. Okay. Well, guess what? In the past 4 years, the homes in the area have increased. She now has her house is almost double the value. So she literally could sell this house and put $250 in her pocket right now. Or more. 'Cause I know her. She's a stickler about her bills and she probably pays more money off. So she could pull $250,000 from her house right now if she wanted to. So that's where that equity comes from. So if you are in a position where you own your home and you have equity, you can pull that money out and start buying rental properties. And all you're going to do, you can do a home equity line of credit, or you can do a home equity loan. Or you can refinance and pull the equity out. It's up to you how you want to do it. If you are like my sister and you have a very low interest rate, I don't recommend doing that. I recommend doing a home equity line of credit. Home equity line of credit, you only pay interest on what you use, not the whole line. So like using my sister as an example, she has a home equity line of credit for $250,000. She only writes a check for $10,000 to pay somebody. She's only going to pay interest on the $10,000, not the $250,000. Okay, just so you guys know how that works. OPM, other people's money. Okay, we all have aunts, uncles, parents, grandparents, cousins, sisters, friends, brothers who want to support our dreams. Believe it or not, ask them. You can find other real estate investors who will partner with you on projects. Ask them. Okay? You can get bank loans. All those bank accounts I just told you to open, you can go to the bank. You can get loans from the bank based on the relationship that you have with the bank. But your personal credit will have to be intact. So if you have not gotten your personal credit intact, and you want to do this eventually, I'm going to suggest that you get it together. Okay? All right. Now, you can refinance your home. We talked about that. Some of you have savings accounts that you've been saving money for the ever and a day. And what are you saving it for? Like, same sister with the house, she started the 100 envelope challenge. Have you guys heard about that? So it's a book and it has the numbers 1 through 100 on it. And every day you're supposed to put money into one of the pockets. You can pick whatever pocket you want, but at the end of the year, you're going to have over $5,000 saved. Well, guess what? $5,000 is enough for you to do creative finance strategies. It's enough for you to buy a house, especially if you're wholesaling. You can put money into your marketing and things like that. So it's out there. Stocks. Some of you have stock portfolios that you're just sitting on. You know the money's there. You know you can get it. You've got self-directed IRAs. You've got Roth IRAs. You can borrow from those and pay yourself back. And the new favorite that everybody's talking about, insurance policies. How do you think people, back when the housing market was going crazy and everybody's coming up, $400,000? Oh, I'm going to pay $400,000 for your house. I'm going to pay cash. They were pulling that money from their insurance policies. So get with either my homeboy James, which he'll be in here sometime throughout the Wealth Academy to talk to you guys, or my homegirl Angelique. She might come in and pop in and talk to you as well. They are both very talented in getting you into insurance policies that you can get money out of within 30 days. So we'll have that inside the Creative Wealth Academy as well. Okay, bumpkins. All right. I have to tell you all this stuff because y'all don't believe me. But these are places where you can get cash from. These are your cash resources. Okay? Excuse me. Now, you're also going to start needing to build your business credit profile. So off to the left are some different ways you can start building. Uline is an office supply store. And people's like, well, I don't need office supplies. Well, guess what? You need cleaning supplies. You need toilet paper. You need paper towels. Order it. Do what they call a net 30. They're going to say net 30, net 15. That means whatever you purchase has to be paid off within 30 days. If it says net 30, net 60, net 90, net 15, that number on the end is when that bill has to be paid off. So if you want to start building your profile, you can, because you need at least 3 to 4 credit lines. If I'm remembering what Kyra told me, you need at least 3 to 4 credit lines on your Dun and Bradstreet your DNB. That's the credit report for your business. Granger, just like Uline, they have office supplies. Office Depot, they have supplies. Sam's Club has everything. Local banks, local credit unions, and gas cards. Start building your business profile once you have your articles of organization, your tax ID number, and all that other stuff. Start building a credit profile for yourself because it's just going to help you out in the long run. So let's see. Next thing next. Okay, I think I skipped something. Nope, I didn't. All right, setting your expectations. You guys have to set goals for yourself. What are your goals? What is it that you want to do? Where is it that you want to go? What do you want to be? Now, I have already told you my goal is to add 20 doors by December 31st to my portfolio, and that is with me doing everything that I have to do. Okay. So that's my goal. So now I have to start working toward the goal. If I know that's the goal, and people ask, well, where'd you get the number 20 from? Because in my area, where the market that I've chosen to build this portfolio, a 2-bedroom apartment is going to get me $1,000 a month. So now that's $20,000 a month. Guess what? It's enough for me to live on. That's enough for me to take care of my properties. There's enough for me to pay mortgages. It's enough for me to do a whole lot of things. So that's $2,000 coming off of each property if I do 10 duplexes. It's $3,000 if I do 10 triplexes. It's $4,000 if I do 4 quads. See what I'm saying? If I do 5 quads. So that's giving me that amount of money. So I know what I'm looking at. I know what I'm looking forward to, and I know what I can handle on my own right now before I bring it. And that's enough. That's another thing that's going to offer me enough money to add a paid position on my staff. And you see how that works? So that's what you want to look into. When I say set up your goals, I need you to know, how many properties do you want to own? How many wholesale deals do you want to do? How many real estate deals do you want to close? How many houses do you want to flip? How many Airbnbs do you want to set up? How many mid-term rentals, long-term rentals, whatever it is that you want to do, I need to know how much you want to do it. If you want to invest in mobile homes, how many mobile homes do you want by X date? And I need you to start everything you do from the time you open your eyes to the time you go to bed at night should be focused on just doing that. But y'all don't hear me. Y'all don't hear me. Okay. Now, one thing that's going to hurt you, failing to research and doing impulsive decisions. Okay, stop doing that. If you don't research your areas, you don't research your markets, you don't research the type of loans that you're going to need, you don't research the type of properties you want, you're going to fail. Deciding impulsively. You have to run numbers. You cannot be impulsive in real estate. You have to run the numbers. Is there going to be a time where your numbers are shorter, your numbers are wrong, or your numbers are a little off? Yes. But I'm telling you, the one thing you need to understand in real estate, besides location, the numbers. If the math ain't mathing, walk away. Every deal is not meant for you. If the math is not mathing, then walk your little pretty bone. Look, boom, be gone. Because I know I will. I made the mistake of falling in love with a property, and the numbers weren't there. That's why I can tell you don't do it. Mismanaging the cash flow. I'm getting ready to do 20 properties, 20 of my own properties. So you're probably saying, oh, you can do whatever you want with that money. No, you can't. No, you cannot. I have to make sure that money is, first of all, I have to make sure that every single tenant is paying their rent on time. I have to make sure that every single tenant is satisfied with their property. I got to make sure every single property is functioning and inspected correctly and doing what it's supposed to be doing. I can't just say, hey, I'm gonna add these 20 doors and I'm just gonna do what I want. No, you can't mismanage the cash flow. And you have to understand what the cash flow is for each property. But y'all don't hear that part. Okay, thank you, Stacy. So that's what you guys have to understand. So when we start doing, and we're almost done, as a matter of fact. So you can't just decide impulsively what you're going to do. And then, like I just said, I'm going to self-manage up to 50 units. As soon as I hit 50, I'm not gonna wait till I hit 50. I know I'm not, because I have a tendency to get very overwhelmed and thinking I can do more than what I should be doing. And I'm going to hire someone. As soon as I hit like 10 of these 20, I'm going to hire somebody to manage those 10. And then I'm going to focus on adding another 10 to give to that person to manage. That's how that works. All right. So that's what it is. So when you're self-managing instead of hiring an expert, when are you going to decide? And like I just told you guys, when I hit 10, I'm going to hire someone to do those 10. And then I'm going to focus on getting 10 more, and I'm going to hire them to do those 2. So that's what you have to understand. Okay, guys? All right. Now, if you are not locked into me, you can lock in on Facebook and Instagram. I am Delisa Robinson, or The Real Estate Diva. My personal page is Delisa Robinson. It's a public page. You can follow me anytime. Or The Real Estate Diva is the other page. That's the business page where everything goes down. On Instagram, I am The Real Estate .diva. Long story. I'll tell it to you another day. On TikTok, The Real Estate Diva. On YouTube, Delisa Robinson, The Real Estate Diva. On LinkedIn, Delisa Robinson. Okay? So you guys can follow me on your social medias. If you are not already a member of the Creative Wealth Academy and you'd like to join us, send me a DM on any of my social media platforms, and I will be more than happy to send you the link and get you in there. And because you joined me tonight, I will still honor the discount, the deep discount. Now, you guys may wonder, what is it that you get with the Creative Wealth Academy? Well, my friends, let me tell you. Let me stop sharing this screen for a minute. Stopping all screen shares. Stopping all screen shares. Okay. Now, with the Creative Wealth Academy, this is a 1-year program. In 1 year, we have 4 modules plus some bonus modules that we're going to be doing with you guys. In the Creative Finance Strategy, you will get 4 different modules. First module, of course, we are talking about mindset and setup. We're all about setting up and making sure your mindset is right and deciding on what type of investor you want to be, where do you want to be, how do you want to be, how are you going to get there. That's in the first module. So basically building out and mapping out your roadmap to your portfolio or whatever it is that you want to do. If you want to be a broker of loans, we have a way for you to do that. If you want to be a tax lien specialist, we have a person to do that. If you want to help other people recover their surplus funds, we have a roadmap for you to do that. That's why this program is mixed with not just one-on-one, but also group coaching. Yeah, you're able to, you can, I'm trying to get my notes up, but everything's running so slow tonight. I don't know what's going on. So I'm gonna just do this the other way. Okay. The first thing we're going to do is build out your action plan. Your action plan for the 12 months. This course is designed for new investors or those looking to scale their business or who may be looking to diversify their business. We're structured to build foundation and knowledge and advance the skill that you already have and create best practices for your business. The action plan for a wealthy investor, that's the first module. This is what we're starting tonight. It's your money mindset, how to reinvest and build, and how to stay disciplined. Those are the things we'll talk about. Creative financing strategies, which we will start probably in 2 weeks. Creative financing strategies, wholesaling real estate, that module, that whole entire training course is already complete. If you enter into it or you're interested in wholesaling real estate, you can go right into that module and start wholesaling real estate today. Seller financing, tax deeds, tax liens, and mortgage foreclosures, lease options subject to financing. We're going to do, then we move into the third module, which is portfolio building and management. This is where we're going to talk about the types of real estate investments that you want to get into, the tools and the systems for property acquisitions and management. I'm going to give you calculators, programs that you can use to do your own management with until you get to a point where you need to hire a manager. Exit strategies and scaling your empire, okay? Then we're going to talk about flipping houses. And flipping houses, we're going to talk about hiring and managing contractors for your flip, conducting due diligence and creating budgets, creating timelines for the budget, staging and marketing properties for sale. How to build out your team is part of every single module. Funding your deals is going to be part of every single module because there are certain funding strategies that will work for different types of real estate. Okay, so we also have live sessions every month. Twice a month, I will come on and we will do Q&A. We will run numbers. We will do whatever it is we need to do to get your job done. You also get to JV with me on wholesale deals if you want to do that. I might partner with you on a flip. So we're doing that as well. Actionable assignments every week. Tasks to implement what you learn. The assignment this week is set up your LLC. So you need to go to and set up your properties. You need to go set up your business. You need your operating agreement. You need to get your EIN. All that needs to be done by next Thursday. Okay? Doesn't have to be done, but it's going to make it really easy if you get it done. Community support. We have access to a private Facebook group, our private Slack, Discord that we use. And, excuse me, we take it off social media and we go to Zoom. Templates and tools, downloadable scripts, deal analyzers, and marketing templates. So by the end of the program, you will not have acquired not just knowledge, but also the confidence and your actionable tools. And if you do everything the right way, you should have a property or two by the end of the year. Okay, so that is what we do in the Creative Wealth Academy. What we did tonight is nothing compared to what we got coming up. And I know, what is the cost, Delisa? Well, the cost is $997 for the whole year. Now, normally I would charge $2,997, and that's going to be the price in about 2 weeks because I have it going up after today. So, well, after tomorrow. Tomorrow is the last day to get the process to get into the program for $997. If you pay one time, it's $997. If you want to pay over a 5-month period, I think it's about $1,300, maybe $1,200. I can't remember. And then if you're going to pay the 1 year, I have a monthly plan where you can pay $197 a month, but you're going to be paying about $2,200 that way. Okay, so there's a payment plan for everybody. If you can't afford the $997, we do accept Afterpay, Klarna, and Affirm. All you have to do is click the link in my bio, tap the button that says Creative Wealth Academy, and you too can join us and be live in the Zoom room because we will not be doing any more live streams for this one. This is the last. I wanted everybody to just see exactly what it was and to know how we're going to be doing things. But all jokes aside, I'm kidding. It's going to be a lot of work, and I'm doing it along with you guys. I'm thinking of starting a completely new LLC just to go along with this process, and I'll let you guys know. Okay. All right. So that's it. That's a wrap for session 1. We will be back here next week, Thursday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. All times are always Eastern Standard Time. If we ever can't do a Thursday, we will do a Saturday morning as a makeup, unless I'm completely out of town. Then, which I know I got 2 or 3 days already we're going to be out of town. So we might do it on a Tuesday instead of Thursday. Okay. Alrighty, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, divas and dudes, heifers and hustlers. I appreciate you for coming out. This is your first time. Don't let it be your last. If you've been here before, mwah, 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 mwah. Please, thank you. Please and thank you for always coming back and supporting your girl. I really appreciate it. Also, while we are locked in, and I always tell you guys this, you can choose to be anything you want in this world. I just hope you choose to be kind, because not only is it cool to be kind, and it makes you a better person, but if we all did, it make the world a much, much better place. And I know we can all use a little kindness in this world right now. So please and thank you. Have a great night. And I will be live streaming tomorrow's Friday, probably around noon, because I know I have a meeting that I have to attend in late afternoon. So definitely got to do noon. All right. So we'll see you guys tomorrow. And we'll finish up some more tips and tricks on certain things that we were talking about, like we were talking about the funding. We're going to go into hard money loans and how they work. That'll be tomorrow's live. All righty. I'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.